Friday. It is August 15th. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? I appreciate you guys always kicking it with Kyle right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I hope you guys are off to an amazing Friday, right? Man, we are 15 days away from Alabama football. Isn't that crazy? Because you know what's wild? Once the football season ends, like the college football season, the NFL season, man, you don't have football for such a long time, right? And you kind of look back, we're like climbing the mountain, right? Getting closer to the season. You look back and you're like, damn, that was a long time without football. And I get it now, you know, yeah, some preseason football and that kind of scratches the itch a little bit. But overall, man, just happy that we are getting closer to the college football season. And actually, did you guys see this? This is literally just in Michigan. What I feel, I mean, how do you guys feel about this? I mean, is this the hammer? So this is literally just came in. Let's see if I can get this full screen. And you know what's going on with kind of the sign stealings and what the NCAA was going to do. I mean, and this is just coming out. There's like stuff as I'm live right now, but ESPN's Pete Thamel and Dan Wetzel reporting that the Wolverines will face a fine of more than $20 million. Head coach Jerome Moore will also be suspended an extra game in addition to the school's self-imposed 2-game suspension for weeks 3 and 4 for the 2025 season. The additional suspension is expected to be served in 2026. Man, that $20 million fine, like, yo, that is hefty, right? And I get it. Michigan has, you know, copious amounts of money, just like all kind of the major brands do, but 20 million smacks, man, that's wild. I don't know. I mean, look, don't steal signs, don't do bad things. So this is all developing right now. I think there's some more stuff that just literally came out. Let me see if there's anything else worth sharing before I actually get going. This is like, here's the punishment right here. Let's see if we can get this full screen. All right, let's go here. And I'm going to read this off. I mean, this literally just came out. All right, so let's see. 4 years of probation, financial penalties, $50,000 fine, plus 10% of budget for the football program, a fine equivalent to anticipating the loss of postseason competition revenue sharing associated with 25 and 26. Connor Stalions, an 8-year show clause order restricting him from all athletically related activities during the show clause period. Jim Harbaugh, a 10-year show clause order restricting him from all athletics relating to activities during the show clause period. Denard Robinson, a 3-year show clause, and then Sharon Moore down at the bottom, a 2-year show clause order during which he will suspended for a total of 3 games. Right? Michigan self-imposed 2-game suspension for Moore during the upcoming 2025-26 season. The panel determined that suspension for an additional game was appropriate. Therefore, Moore will be suspended for the first game of the 2026. Oh, so they just rolled it over basically like the other article said. Yeah, so, I mean, a lot going on in Michigan right now. We'll see what happens, how that impacts everything. I mean, 20 million smacks, man, that's a lot. So anyways, kind of leading off the show with that, you know, as more news comes out, you know, there's you know, college football to always watch and to keep track of, but that is absolutely staggering. $20 million fine, right? I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you guys were able to catch my yesterday interview with Northwest Florida. It was a fun interview. They called me up, they asked me if I wanted to talk some Alabama football. I didn't anticipate the interview going as long as it did, but I really had fun talking some Alabama football, and I guess was one of the first to kind of talk Alabama football, kind of give a preview for that particular radio station. So all opportunities are welcomed, and hope you guys were able to listen to it. It was fun. I mean, there was nothing like earth-shattering. It was kind of more like positional preview, some of the stuff that we talk about, but it was fun, and I always like opportunities like that. You know, I do appreciate the compliments inside the comment box, but I've been doing this, you know, whether it was high school football in New Mexico or the last 10 seasons covering Alabama football here in Tuscaloosa literally, this is like my 22nd year covering some sort of football. So I am comfortable in this space, and I am grateful for all the opportunities that come up. We're 15 days away from the college football season. I thought no other person better to put on the cover for 15 than number 15, Ty Simpson. Could I get a thumbs up for Ty Simpson? Right? You know, I always read the comments, and every single year, it's kind of frustrating. Not really frustrating, but I always see this. If we start getting behind a quarterback, that means that we don't like the other quarterbacks. And that doesn't happen at any other position other than quarterback. So what I'm seeing out there, because I do read through all the comments because I want to be courteous and follow up. Plus, I'm just, a people person. So I want to see what people are seeing, where I could, improve on my own craft and kind of just staying with the pulse of stuff. But the crazy thing is now there's like this narrative that I don't like Keelan Russell and I don't like Austin Mack. It's crazy. And, it's like I'm supporting the quarterback that the coaches are putting out on the field, right? We hadn't even played a damn game yet. Now, going forward, if Ty is not getting the job done, I'll clearly state that, right? I'm not part of the university that kind of gives me the freedom to say whatever the hell I want. I am encouraging, though, about what we've heard from the young man based off earning the job. So it's like, damn, man. It's like, I see it, and they're like, man, now you hate Keelan Russell and you're against Austin Mack. Dog, I'm not. Like, I'm for a productive offense. I'm encouraging you to support the guy that the coaches put as the starter who earned the job, okay? So that doesn't mean that we're against any of the other players on the team or we're trying to create like some sort of divide in the locker room. It's like, damn, it's plus, I mean, look, this is a tiny YouTube channel anyways. I mean, so it's whatever, but I do see it. But if you're out there and you think I have some beef with Keelan Russell, Austin Mack, you're twisted, right? Girl, you got me twisted. Who sings that? Twisted Over You? Girl, you got me twisted. Man, Twisted, that was the jam, right? Twisted? Oh, man. Going back with some, you know what? I had to tell you, lately I've been rolling with some R&B, I'm talking like R&B from like the late 90s into the early 2000s. I don't know why. Something is like taking over my playlist, and I've been fully engaged. I was listening to 112 this morning. 112. Yeah, Keith Sweat. There you go. Man, I knew you guys would get it. Twisted, man. That song hits. Did you see this other college football news? This is crazy. All right. This is look, and this is where we are. We always talk about this. Graphics from On3 Rivals. They merged. Who merged on The Office? Was it Stanford merged with Scranton, right? Well, anyways, Rivals merged with On3, whatever. So there was a commitment flip today. Isaiah Williams, all right? So check this out. Look at the timeline. This graphics is really great. So in 2023, he committed to Louisville, and then he decommitted in January. I always talk about these funny timelines. That's why, recruiting for me is certainly important, and it's part of it. But this is crazy. Where we're at is just blows my mind. That's why I don't really put too much stock into until the player is physically playing for the team. Otherwise, it's just kind of all smoke, because you have to still celebrate the player. Just a couple days ago that he got an official offer, right? Man, look at this. So 2024, he decommitted. Then he committed to Syracuse on the 24th in 2024 of April. Then decommitted. And then committed to Florida State. And then decommitted in November. And then committed to Florida. Shoot, man. And then flipped to Ole Miss. And then just recently committed to Florida. Today, he committed to Florida State. I mean, damn. I don't know. Is he getting paid each time? Has he found some sort of loophole? I don't know. Damn, that's crazy. Does anybody, if you're a Florida State today, are you celebrating? Do you think that this guy will end up in your program? I don't know. I would probably be wary about that. All right, did you see this? More college football news before we get into Bama, what we're looking forward for the scrimmage this Saturday. I appreciate you guys being here. 102 up in the house. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Last four of my phone number. You guys ready for this? If you're on Venmo and you're trying to get into the raffle, It's the raffle that you see on the screen. It's the old school Alabama shirt. And you got the, it comes in white as well. And if you're on Venmo, Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. But if you're looking for the last 4 of my digits, all right, this is your trivia, okay? The last 4 digits of my phone number, I promise you, 5953. 5953. Can anybody guess what that spells out? 5953. Look it up. Sound off inside the comment box. Okay, so Nebraska just announced that they're wearing these all-black alternate uniforms against USC on November 1st. And I got to thinking, I was like, man, see, I don't like this. I don't like, I get it. You have to try to reinvent yourself if you're like Nebraska or some of these other programs that have all these alternate jerseys, right? But it's crazy because, like, the beauty of it is, I hope Alabama never changes their uniforms. I really don't. I hope that they just keep the same. Is there anybody out there that wants a different uniform? It's like, it's too iconic. And look, I like different uniforms and different things, but man, Nebraska, it's kind of like an iconic program. And it starts to tell you too, when teams start doing this, that they're trying to, kind of get some more attention. Just be there's iconic programs, and it's kind of sad to see Nebraska doing this. I mean, look, Oregon, it's exciting. All those uniforms, who doesn't like to, wear different things and see different uniforms, whatever. But like Alabama, I just stay the same. And look, I'm for that, I'm probably more conservative. Like, just leave the uniforms alone. I don't want a white helmet. I don't want, anything really different. I was talking to somebody yesterday who was an equipment manager a couple years ago for Alabama. And he was talking about all the detail that goes into the behind the scenes, and that Coach Saban, after the games, was so adamant that the helmets be polished. Literally every single player's helmet be polished, somewhere restriped depending on, the physicality of, that particular player's helmet. But every single, man, those helmets are clean. Just polish them up. There's nothing wrong at all with Alabama's uniforms. I love them. And I like different stuff, but man, I can't get on board with something different for Alabama. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. All right, today's raffle, as you know, is $5 to get in. I actually really like this shirt. It's a Nike shirt. This is from Team Fanatics. It also comes in white. So if you do win the raffle, you let me know when you win, if you want, what size, and then if you want white or crimson. I kind of like the crimson a little bit more, but there's nothing better than like a clean white tee. So either way, you're in a good spot. It's only $5 to get in. If you want the shirt, just go to Team Fanatics. Another place that you can get like gear from is Athletes Thread. I'm not sponsored by any of them, but if you want to get in, definitely hit me up. Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. We'll spin the pinwheel probably on Monday. For this particular shirt. And then we'll probably do like a big ticket item, I would imagine, on Wednesday. All right, so before I get into this and talking, kind of the meat of the show will be about what we want to see and what we want to hear from Alabama's second scrimmage, all right, which is Saturday. I mean, Coach Kalen DeBoer is scheduled what's interesting is this particular scrimmage is, I think it starts at 1 p.m. So I think that's really close to kind of the kickoff time, when they'll be playing Florida State. And I'm telling you, like, yesterday was absolutely brutal here in Tuscaloosa. Like, the heat was crazy, so hot. So for that 2:30 Eastern time kickoff, right, you got to get ready and be able to play in that sort of heat. These guys will be ready for it, but they do practice in the mornings. I think they'll be fine. But let me ask you, inside the comment box, what are you looking for to, like, what do you have your ears perked up for going into this scrimmage? So going into the scrimmage, like, what do you want to hear? And I'll talk about what I want to see, what I want to hear from scrimmage number 2. And again, if you're looking for my Venmo, it's 5953. And I think there's a couple people that got it right. 5953 spells out KYLE. So, yeah. Last 4, that's crazy. And I've had that number for forever. So when they asked me at at Verizon, they're like, what number do you want? And I was like, well, do you have anything that has Kyle? Like 5953. I went into it. I go into everything with the game plan. All right. Have I been punched in the mouth? 100%. Have things not worked out? 100%. Oh my God. But we still standing and we here. All right. So a couple the feedback from a few of you inside the comment box. Let's see. Fromm is saying special teams. What's up, Fromm? Good to see you, dog. 2-4. I'm with you right here, bro. The run defense, 100%. I have that listed, actually. Production from the wide receiver room. What's up, Park? Good to see you, man. And Jalen and Jarvis wants to see where is Jalen Mbakwe kind of on the wide receiver pecking order. You know, that's I like that one. I kind of don't. For me, Jarvis, I'm not necessarily worried about where he's at. I just want to hear maybe like that he made like a really good play or that he continues to get reps, because I think he's so dynamic. He's going to make plays. I just, you know how heavy that wide receiver room is. Ryan Harris is saying depth. All right. Strictly business. What's up, man? Saying want to hear that Ty is handling being the starter and still playing at a high level. 100%. I think that's probably like key point number one. I think I have that on the board as well. Jordan Roberts getting fresher on quarterback. Marcus, I'm with you, dog. Special teams. Yeah, and Hacker Music's like, without watching it, I take everything from a grain of salt. 100%. 100%. But here's what I kind of like have my ears perked up for going into scrimmage number 2, which, by the way, is this Saturday at 1 p.m. And these are closed. There'll probably be, you know, parents. There might be a few people that leak in. So you'll hear stuff, but you won't necessarily see stuff. You'll only see stuff that the university releases. So it's been like this for forever. All right. It looks like the usernames are still twisted, right? I don't know what happened with those. I'm sure they'll come back. You can't control things in life. You just have to let, things just play out. But I'm looking for continued play, and I'm starting up top. I'm looking at, Ty Simpson. Can he stack on another strong showing in scrimmage number 2? I want to hear about consistency. I want to hear about the same things. I want to continue to hear the same things, even against Florida State. Like, I want to hear that he's taking care of the football, that he's making good decisions, that he's making a couple plays, like making a couple defenders miss. I want to hear those simple things about Ty Simpson, that he has command of the offense, right? I don't care who he's throwing the football to. I just want to see him taking care of the football and making plays. I said this yesterday on that radio station that I was talking about, and you guys already know this, but man, Ty Simpson is an athlete. This guy has tremendous athleticism, so he can make plays. So I want to hear, how that's coming along. And I guess according to Ryan Grubb, there's been very few interceptions thrown by the quarterback room, which I think is very positive, considering you're going up against the dogs that we got at corners and safeties, right? Let's see what my boy Ruben pulled with the big super, man. What's up? Man, Ruben, thank you, Ruben. I really appreciate it. Let's see what you got, man. Yesterday, you asked about breakout players. All that you mentioned will be breakouts. Yeah, we had a breakout graphic yesterday. It's going to look like a prison break. You heard me? Starting in Tallahassee, people are going to think Alabama's playing as Con Air. Man, what? Yeah, Javion, I got you, man. What a hell of a movie. Con Air, remember this? Nicolas Cage? Man, Con Air was... I would watch that right now. You guys want to watch a movie? Let's watch Con Air together. Great, great movie. Yeah, I think you're going to have a lot of breakout players, especially those second-year players for sure. 100%. Thanks for the super, Ruben. I appreciate you, dog. And JVN, I did get your cash app. Timothy asks, he's like, Kyle, what do you think happens if he throws 2 interceptions? Like at the scrimmage or like during the game? If you hear that, some interceptions leak out, I mean, I'm not going to, freak out about it. this is a very good secondary. I mean, you have elite corners. You have elite safeties. Guys are going to make bad plays. There's going to be tipped passes. What I don't want to hear is just like careless plays, right? That you didn't understand the defensive coverage. So, look, interception is going to happen this year. You think Ty Simpson's going to go this entire season without throwing an interception? I mean, hope he doesn't, but yeah, getting back to Con Air. Yeah, Cyrus the Virus had that mask on or whatever. Yeah, I got Guy Burns. I got you, man, in the raffle. Yeah. There was some characters on that flight, man. Excellent movie. So more good things from Ty Simpson, clearly. Look, I also want to hear good things. I want to hear more about the additional quarterbacks as well, the two that are on scholarship, and that's Keelan Russell and Austin Mack. Look, these guys are going to get opportunities. They have to get opportunities this season. At some point in time, right, they're going to be playing this season 100%. So it starts with another scrimmage. It starts with more opportunities. These guys will get opportunities to work with the ones, maybe, probably the twos, or whatever type of opportunities you get. Like, how do you respond when you're not the guy? Can you maintain the right mindset to be able to play at a high level, regardless if you're on the ones or the twos? Can you be mature enough to come back from a mistake? I want to hear continued good things about the additional quarterbacks, 100%. Almost as important with the starter, with Ty. I really do. And just because you're named the starter right now, it is a long season. Things change. Got to be ready. I mean, regardless. All right, let's see. Miss Aaron, what's up? I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you. It's good to see you. I think you might be a first-time super chatter. So, congratulations on your rookie. Are you a rookie here? Is it like your rookie year? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm extremely grateful. All right, let's see. Health check on Jaden Roberts. I keep saying this. I don't want to make like a molehill into a mountain, but my goodness, is this guy, like, I am really hoping he is 100% healthy for Florida State. Do you have another guard that can step up in his place if he's not? Sure. But man, we need Jaden Roberts. Has there been anyone else out there that has heard anything on Jaden Roberts? Because he missed the last scrimmage with some sort of injury. Yeah, Guy Burns, we got you, bro. But I haven't, if he doesn't play again, I'm like, so I want to see Jaden Roberts do his thing. I believe in him, man. Last year, I don't know what percentage the guy played with, but he was banged up last year. I'm just really hoping that Jaden Roberts can play to his ceiling. So important. You can't have any cracks within that offensive line. Because this offensive line, you got to be hopeful for them, right? Jaden Roberts is part of the big three returning. Kim, Parker Brailsford, Caden Proctor. 100%. Ryan's like, he probably injured himself squatting 900 pounds. That is wild, right? I guess they said that's the record. All right, so in additional offensive line updates, right? Let's see, Case in with the super. What's up, Case? How you doing, Case? Good to see you, bro. Case says this. Kyle, we know iron sharpens iron, but say at the scrimmage, our offense is very efficient. Do you think that's more of a compliment to our offense or a weakness of our defense, or is showing not getting takeaways? I think that, like, I put it like this. While the defense has a lot of returners, I think that what's the added value to the offense is Ryan Grubb versus Kane Womack, right? And having those guys go head-to-head on the chessboard, I bet you Kane Womack is going into the second scrimmage pretty amped up. They want to make plays. The defense wants to make plays. The defense is the one who has all the returners coming back. Kane Womack's coming back. You don't want Ryan Grubb to just come in and start doing what he wants against him. So I think that, Kane Womack's got to be fired up 100%. Good question though. What's up? And thanks for the Superman. All right. And we got what's up 321? Ty would be great per AJ McCarron. Yeah, I mean, you get a cosign from AJ McCarron. I mean, that's the type of endorsement. You know, that one carries a lot of weight. Even Greg McElroy, who was just at that last scrimmage, he left super positive. Oh, Aaron says that she's been here from the, yeah, Mick's still doing his thing for sure. Yeah, Mick is great. Mick's been around. He's done all stuff for sure. A lot of the guys who are out there that have different YouTube channels and do their thing, I'm happy for them all because I've worked with all of them. I've seen all those guys put in work, right? We've worked together, or I've seen them behind the scenes. No, yeah, they do an amazing job for sure, 100%. I know different people went different ways, but I still, pray for their success and am happy, as they hit different, high points within their career, wherever they go, 100%. Kimberly, what's up? Thanks for becoming a level 1 fan funder. Miss Kimberly's been around for a long time. All right. I'm paging playmakers. Who else you got, right? Like you got, I think last week our playmakers were Jam Miller, Cole Adams, and kind of getting back to Jarvis earlier is like, is it a Jalen Mbakwe? Is it a Jalen Hell? I kind of like, is it Jalen Hell? Is it Rico Scott? So who's making the big plays this coming Saturday? Is it the main 3 wide receivers, Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard? I saw AL.com said the most kind of underrated player, maybe one of them on offense, is Jeremy Bernard. I thought it was a pretty good article. Nobody's really talking about Jeremy Bernard. Jeremy Bernard is going to eat, man. He's so good. And Isaiah Horton, I think he caught a touchdown in the last scrimmage. So who's making plays? Any other running backs besides Jam Miller? This is probably the most important piece. I'd say this is number 1, and then Ty Simpson updates number 2. But how is this team doing against the run? I'm going to continue to harp on this. If you wanted to play Alabama football last year, you want to run the football. I'm doing the same thing this year. If I'm Florida State, and they have 3 running backs, I've been doing more research, as we go forward with Florida State. They got 3 running backs that they're going to utilize. Roydell Williams, as you know, is one of them. I want to run the football at Alabama. I want to prove that this Alabama defense can stop the run. In last scrimmage, to my memory, they said that there was a couple run fits to where the offense had some success running the football. Who knows? We're not there, but man, it's going to be very frustrating if Alabama can't stop the run again this year or has like run fits. You can't have that. Gap integrity early on is super important, right? I'm not passing against Alabama. Are you crazy? You think Tommy Costa? I just saw Tommy. I don't know who the quarterback was because I followed the Florida State stuff too. One of the defensive backs made a ridiculous one-handed interception. It was a highlight. But who threw it? I don't know. Tommy Castellanos throws a lot of interceptions. I don't think they're coming in thinking, and they do have good wide receivers, I will say that. But I think they're going to try to run against Alabama more than pass, right? Frank, what's up, dog? Good to see you, man. Frank Daniel says, hey, Kyle, I've heard that Caleb Edwards is working with the first team. Yeah, I have heard that as well. So Caleb Edwards is a tight end who came here. And, I'm really excited about the additional tight end as well that came in as Marshall Pritchett. But, man, Caleb Edwards at, 6'6", 265 or whatever he is, he's been repping with the first team. I don't know in, what capacity, but, yeah, I saw that too. That would be interesting to watch, right? And then special teams. What's happening with special teams? Where are we at? Are these guys ready? I really hope so. What if the special teams comes in and they're just elite? That would give us a huge sigh of relief. I've kind of gotten in. I don't know why, because I am more optimistic. But I don't know why. I kind of feel like, and this isn't true. I have no idea. But I don't know why I feel like this year's special teams isn't going to be good. And I'm talking like kicking, punting. I have no factual information to why I think that. I just think that new experience might take some time to get going. But I don't know. I'm kind of like in the dumpster on that. I don't know why. I just thought of that. I don't usually go there, but I'm kind of like there. I don't know. At least I'm aware of that. Okay, I'm aware. All right. Here are some players that I'm, excited to hear about in scrimmage number 2, or at least who we're kind of watching, right? Austin Mack and Keelan Russell, as I already explained, right? For those out there that might think I don't like the other quarterbacks, I already mentioned I got love for the quarterbacks. I want to see how these guys fare, any things that we hear about them as we go forward. I think it's very important that these guys continue the developmental path and they get reps and they make plays. All right, Jaden Roberts, as I mentioned, critical part to the offensive line. Yanze Pierre, man, this dude is, I think he'd start pretty much anywhere else in the country. I think he'll play a lot. He's just right there. He's ready. He is just ready for a really good season. Dejon Lee, right? Are we going to hear anything from him at the corner spot? And then Connor Talty, as I mentioned, the kicking, right? The kicker. And is it going to be him? Is he going to be the main guy? I think so. I think he's battling right now with Peter Ntaros, but I think Connor Talty is going to be your kicker. All right. I was looking at this too. All right, here's some rat poison, right? This is a good question right here from Marcus. Kyle, do you think Dejon Lee beats out Zabian Brown? Yeah, I think he plays, but I don't think right now you go into the season and I don't think that like he, just beats him out to start. I think if he's going to beat out ZB, I think it'll be like a natural progression, right? But I think 100% he'll play. Hey, this is Ethan. What's up, Ethan? How you doing, man? I know the usernames are all strange. Brother Kyle, you should start interviewing some of the players. So the university, they won't let me do any interviews with any of the players. They don't recognize me as media. I've already, it's a really weird thing that I continue to like just kind of work past. But yeah, I don't get any interviews with any of the players or with any of the coaches or whatever. So they feel that me being on a YouTube channel is not at the level and the standard of, media. So, I've just kind of had to accept that. And, this is now how I cover Alabama football. But yeah, it would be nice to talk to some of the players and, get some interviews and help elevate their platforms. But, this is where we're at. So, but I appreciate it. Yeah, it would be fun. Big Matt, what's up, man? He says just straight up hit the like button. I appreciate that, dog. Thank you so much. All right, I was looking at this. Here's some rat poison. If you want some rat poison, don't show this to anybody on the team. Bama is favored. I saw it. I was just on FanDuel. This is all from FanDuel, by the way. Bama favored by 13.5. I knew that the line would keep creeping. What did it start out with? Was it 6.5? And then it kept on climbing, right? I mean, 13. That's 2 touchdowns. That's rat poison. That's a lot of rat poison. And then I saw this too. I started kind of like diving into the numbers a little bit, and it says the Alabama minus 440, pretty good for Alabama to score 38 points in this game or more, right? Do you think Alabama scores 40 points against Florida State? Yes or no inside the comment box. I'm kind of. Are we looking at? Let's see, because is the total points for this game still 50? So let's see, 38 plus 17. Yeah, that gives us 55. So basically kind of what they're telling us is that the score is going to be maybe 42 to 14, 38 to 17, right? I don't know. Did they come out and score? That's a lot of points in the opener. You know what? We will be the happiest fan base if after that game, the clock is 0-0. See? Jay Williamson doesn't like the rat poison. That's a lot of points in the opener. Ryan Paris has it 52 to 13, high 30s. I think, remember, didn't I come out with a score prediction like a couple weeks ago? I just went crazy, and I usually do a score prediction like before the game, but I just like went out wild. I was wilding a couple weeks ago. I think it was, I took the over, so I think they'll win by more than 2 touchdowns. I don't know if they score 52. Larry Large is going all in 52-10. Larry Large is hungry. Let's see, more than 38 points. That's kind of, I don't know. I guess, yeah, right? I mean, you score 7 touchdowns, right? That's 42 points. You scored 6, it's 35. You kick a field goal. You kick 2 field goals. Yeah, I'll go over 38 points for sure. Yeah, I'll go over 38 points. Now, Florida State, will they score more or less than 17 against Bama? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm more confident on this one. I don't think that Florida State, I think this will kind of be the difference. I don't think that I don't see this game being a shootout, right? Do you? Like, I don't think it's going to be like back and forth. I don't see it being like a 34-24. I would imagine that it's maybe Bama by a touchdown at halftime, and then I think second half adjustments by maybe Ryan Grubb, and the fact that Alabama is just too explosive, that kind of, is the difference. Marcus, I'm not mad. You know what? With that said, I don't think Florida State scores more than 17, but I'm not mad at this score prediction right here. This could be believable right here. Mike and Austin has it a little bit tighter, 31-24. Let's see. Cooper has it 42-10. He says Bama offense explosive with a true dual threat quarterback in Ryan Grubb. Caitlin DeBoer says that Florida State is garbage. And Guy Barnes is saying Bama 62-3. Man, imagine that post-game show if Bama wins 62-3. We'll be on fire. 34-13. AM Alabama, reminiscent of 1992. Okay, yeah. So let's see what else we got. First quarter, I think Alabama favored by 3.5. Definitely take the over on that. And first half winner, Bama minus 385. So, I mean, look, this is all rat poison. Kimberly, inside the comment, I do like. This is kind of something that I'd probably go with. This might be my score. I can't remember what I said with my score prediction. I just blurted something out. So we'll see. If you want to get into the raffle again, $5 to get in, Bama_YouTube on Venmo. Last 4 of my phone number, 5953, spells out KYLE. Cash App, Bama YouTube. You can get this shirt in crimson or white. It's been a fan favorite. People like this shirt. Yeah, I do too. All right, I'm gonna open this up for discussion now. So if you have something on your mind, you want to do a shout out, you have a topic you want to talk about, post it. I'll post it inside the comment box and I'll talk about it. You have a question for me, post it. I'll post it inside the comment box. You have a bold prediction, post it. I'll post it inside the comment box. You have some place that you want me to go eat, I'll post it inside the comment box. You want me to go back to Catfish Heaven to have the catfish? I keep thinking about that. If you guys missed it, I went to Catfish Heaven and I had the wings and I got some feedback. And they were like, yo, you need to have the catfish when you go to Catfish Heaven, right? And the wings were incredible, man. They were small wings, but they were delicious. All right. And no hat today. I have a men's church group at Friday at 12. So I have to, comb the hair a little bit. We're doing Genesis 13. We did Genesis 12 last Friday. And Abraham gets a message and he has to bounce out. And it's kind of like a leap of faith. So today we'll continue Genesis. Genesis is hardcore, man. All right, Austin, what's up, man? If Ty shows out, can I see him being like Josh? Man, damn. Josh Allen. I hope I can pick up Josh Allen in my fantasy football league. Let's see how he does. He's got a lot of playmaking abilities. I think Austin, and as I said earlier, guy's an athlete. Guy can run. He's fast. He definitely is a dual threat quarterback. A lot of people don't understand that about Ty Simpson. They will learn that about Ty Simpson. And sometimes they might, because look, Mac Jones was not a dual threat quarterback. Mac Jones was a pocket passer. The only thing that is the same about Mac Jones and Ty Simpson is the fact that they waited their turn to be the quarterback here, right? And Mac Jones is an athlete, for sure. But Ty Simpson is a dual threat quarterback, 100%. Appreciate the super chat, by the way, man. Thank you so much. All right, let's see what else we got. Yeah, the name thing. Yeah, Jared, I know, bro. I have no idea. I guess this is the only channel that it happens to, which is weird. We call it a curveball here. Ruben's still saying 42-10. Was it 35-17? Is that how it went? I think I had Bama scoring more. I don't know if I like that score anymore. Alabama Rules, what's up, man? Says, how many turnovers are we having this year on defense with the new players coming in, the vet guys? Well, last year they started to get this team did cause turnovers. They didn't get to the quarterback as many times as we want, like physically put the quarterback down in the dirt, but they did come up with several interceptions, a lot of fumble recoveries, like, right? I forget where they were in defensive turnovers, but it wasn't, it was kind of where we wanted them to be. Like the swarm defense was swarming for sure. So I don't know. Good question. But I would imagine you get more turnovers this year, considering that I think that this defense has better playmakers and is just more experienced, right? Big Homie has it 24-17. Tim has it 35-17. DeMarcus says this. Kyle, do you believe we put the world on our back on notice with Bama and never lost, going undefeated the whole season? No, this is interesting. I do feel, I don't know which game it will be. And I think I would be really surprised if there's, like the Final Four has like 2 undefeated teams. You're going to lose. I don't know which games it's going to happen. The schedule is hard. And while I want to pretend that like you're going to go undefeated and you're capable of doing that, I just think there's so many games and the schedule is that daunting. And you put the road game, you put the different elements. I don't know who they lose to. You could look at their schedule. I would imagine if they lose a game, it's on the road somewhere, right? I don't think they lose at home. I would be like shocked if they lose at home. But I don't think they lose and, they have like a crash out. So, but I do think with this said, I do feel that kind of the brand integrity will be put back on notice. I think that the way that Alabama plays this year will put Alabama back on notice because there's too many people out there talking that they can play with Alabama, and that needs to stop 100%. All right, Jarvis says the honey wings looked good. They were delicious, bro. I'm telling you. You come in, go to Catfish Heaven. They were really nice to me too. I told you, I was like, what's the best drink? And they just said red. So I was like, give me red. And then I had my red drink. I had my wings. It was perfect. Ethan says this, my coworker played against Ty in high school and he said the dude is the real deal. Highest football IQ. Yeah, they asked me about that yesterday on the radio station. They were like, how's his IQ? Well, and I kind of tied it back to his dad, right? Being a head football coach at UT Martin. That his little brother is a quarterback phenom too that Alabama also offered. Dan Caraway, what's up, dog? Good to see you, man. Hey, Kyle, did you see where the player from Florida State got kicked off? Yeah, I did. It was a player in the secondary. I'm sure you guys saw this, but Florida State just had a player get kicked off the team because he got in a fight with a coach. I haven't read all the details. I saw it before I jumped on in War Chant, but I guess a defensive player got in a fight with the coach and then they kicked him off the team. So You know, that doesn't scream that things are going exactly where you want. Can you imagine if that happened over here? Oh my goodness, it would be like front page ESPN, be crazy. What's up, Marcus? Would you ever do a fan meet and greet? Yeah, we could do something like that. We've done it in the past a couple times. The only thing is I'm so busy on Saturdays, like with my game coverage, because I really work all day on Saturday with like the pregame show, the live watch along, and the postgame show. It's like my busiest day, so it is kind of hard. Like if we were to do something and you guys were in town like Friday gives me a little bit more air to breathe, or even maybe like a Sunday on like the dip out or something like that. But Saturdays are really tough for me because I'm so dialed in, to the game coverage, and I'm the only person that runs the YouTube channel, and it's a big plane to fly on Saturdays for sure. From says Florida State will use tempo 100%. Joe Crooms, who by the way just won that last raffle. You could see Crooms. He won a raffle where you could put your own name in it. It was a jersey. I think this is the same one that King Riz won. That looks good, by the way. He says, bold prediction, Ty Simpson has more yards than Arch Manning at the end of the year. Wow, that's an interesting one, man. Man, I don't know. I think they're going to try to do every single thing with Arch, right? Try to build that profile up. But that's an interesting, that is bold for sure. Kane Womack said that the freshmen are not ready to play. I think he was definitely talking about the linebackers, right? I think he was talking about Luke Metz, Daryl Duke Johnson, and Abdul Sanders, saying that they still have a ways to go, right? Wasn't he specifically talking about the linebackers, if I'm not mistaken? If you go to a catfish place, you have to eat catfish. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, but people were talking about their wings, and I got there, and I was like, man, maybe I should go with I don't have anything against catfish. I like catfish. How could you not? I'm sure the catfish is coming from, where's our catfish farm? Just down the road. There's like a bunch of catfish farms down here, just south of Tuscaloosa. Help me out. Ty Simpson reminds me of Cade Klubnik, but with no experience. Ooh, that's interesting. What's up, the baby's faced? I like that username. You should do a fantasy football league. I am so consumed with stuff. I am in a fantasy football league with my workout crew. Man, last year I missed the playoffs because I made some stupid decisions at the end of the year. Hopefully my quarterback game is better this year. The top 12 college football bracket predictions, which team play all the way to Natty. Are you saying like which teams make the 12? I have no idea. I mean, I think, there's several SEC schools in that. I mean, if they don't, then it's a travesty. The schedules for the SEC is crazy. Especially, that's why I can't believe like our boy J.D. Piquel picked the LSU to win the championship. As soon as I looked at that schedule, oh my goodness, I was like, wow, this team, I don't even know if this team makes the playoffs. Demetrius, what's up, dog? He says, please stop comparing anybody to Mac Jones. If Mac wasn't the best QB in the country, dude, Mac Jones, what he did in 2020 was crazy. And it's still to this day, in my opinion, he still does not get the notoriety for as good as he was in 2020. That dude was nasty. That was nasty work. But that year, I mean, 2020. 2020 was, what 2020 was? 2020 was an episode from Black Mirror that we literally lived. You ever seen that show, Black Mirror, where like things are like a weird reality, or like things that you think might happen and then they like kind of could happen and they do? That's what 2020 was. 2020 was a Black Mirror episode, and we were all on the show. Greensboro, that's it, dog. Thank you, man. God, that's why you guys are undefeated. Greensboro, yes. There's a bunch of catfish farms from there. Thank you, dog. Yes. Cute little town. I've driven through there a couple times. Man, thank you. I was like, what is it? Tommy Castellanos' 5'9" highlights is not accurate. He throws a lot of interceptions. Even when I played the game NCAA football, when I streamed it, he threw 2 interceptions, both to Damani Jackson. Anybody remember Catfish Country? Where was that? This is a Dirty South, by the way. I got time today. That's his other name. Heavenly Donut, never been there. Ryan Harris is like, imagine the pressure that is Arch Manning. Oh my goodness. Talk about every single throw under a microscope. Jeez. Ty Simpson reminds me of a mix of Bo Nix and Kyle Trask from Florida. You know what? I kind of like the Bo Nix comparison. I don't know about Kyle Trask, but Bo Nix, look, say what you want. The Bo Nix in the NFL has been going crazy. All right. Look, I had him in fantasy football. That was like my only thing. My quarterbacks were him and Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers, every once in a while, he'd throw a touchdown to Devontae Adams. Kay says he played FSU on NCAA football. First play was Cam Calhoun got a pick six. See, it's realistic. Michigan should have gotten hammered. Well, you don't think the $20 million was enough from? New England, 100%. I agree, 100%. New England ruined Mac. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes you get done dirty in the NFL, and I think he's unfortunately subject to that, right? Because then when he went to Jacksonville, come on. He's always, like, New England wasn't the spot. They didn't have, why did New England, the Patriots have no wide receivers. It is the craziest thing. Why? Then he went to Jacksonville. What, you're going to play him over Trevor Lawrence? I know he's a little bit dinged up, but still. And then what? You send him out to the 49ers. Look, one thing's true, because I follow the 49ers. If you play for the 49ers, you're going to play. Now, you might get hurt. Everybody on that team gets hurt. That's like the prerequisite. They're like, hey, you want to come play for the Niners? Yeah, for sure. We got all these players, but hey, you have to sign this waiver that you're going to get hurt this year. It's the last 4 years covering the Niners have been terrible. But yeah, does Mac Jones play for the Niners this year? Yeah, probably. I love the Bo Nix comparison, 100%. Bo Nix can run. He's a playmaker. Look, he beat Bama. Remember when he went crazy at Auburn? That game was crazy. Ooh, I like this. What record do you see Bill Belichick having? I don't know. Let's check. You know what we haven't done? I don't think we've looked at North Carolina's football schedule. Football schedule 2025. That's interesting. I just don't know how good North Carolina is going to be. You know, let's see. I haven't thought about this. I don't know how good they're going to be. Okay, TCU, Charlotte, Richmond. Favorable games, right, to start off with. North Carolina. Okay, Clemson. This could be. They have 2 weeks to prep for Clemson. That could be the game you get, Bill Belichick. If there's any, because, the whole stuff with Bill Belichick and his girlfriend and stuff like that, that was crazy. That almost did him in. That almost got him canceled, right? That was crazy. Those storylines were wild. I wouldn't even read into them because they were just it was just too much. But he can earn everything back if he somehow goes undefeated right here, which he might, and then somehow, beats Dabo Swinney. And then after that, what if North Carolina can win some games? A lot of games. 6, 7? I don't know, Hacker Music. They kind of stopped showing that, right? Is she still wasn't she, was this true? Was she the general manager? Right? Wasn't she the general manager? I don't know. It got too weird for me. I dipped out of that drama. I couldn't. It was like watching a show. I was like, what am I doing here? Hey, Richard, what's up, dog? Is that a Georgia fan? I don't know how. Look, North Carolina's going to win some games. I don't know how many, but they're going to win. They're going to win some games. I didn't think about that. That was a good question. Kimberly says she likes shrimp Alfredo. You know where the Alfredo's good? Olive Garden. Olive Garden has fantastic Alfredo. I like the chicken Alfredo. Richard's in here. He's a Georgia fan. And then JTL's our LSU fan. I don't know where he's at today. Lisa, good morning. Bill Belichick. Dirty South 334. Hey, how did you change your name? Tell everybody how you changed your name. All right, 24388 says hypothetical Nick Saban joins Bill Belichick. Nah. Nah. It would be crazy though. No, I don't think Coach Saban comes back. Look. You don't, if you're Saban, you just don't come back. Jarvis says Texas or Ohio State week 1. I saw the line this morning. It's like 2.5 Ohio State, right? Playing at the or playing in Columbus. I don't know. If Texas wins, oh my goodness, it's going to be like the craziest thing. Does Ohio State have, I guess, Julian Sand versus Arch Manning? I don't know. I probably think, can Texas win on the road there? I guess give me Texas, but I don't know. All right. 321 says, Kyle, per reports, I'm hearing this offense will be equal or better to 2020. I think we slow down there. I think that 2020, look, we could go, that would be interesting. We go kind of side by side and look at 2020's offense versus 2020 now. The wide receivers are, the running backs. I mean, look, Najee Harris. Okay, I don't want to start a war, but let me just ask you something, just for you to think about, okay? We're just talking here, okay? Who's better at their prime? Let's bring up the 2020 team. 2020 Alabama football. Let me ask you something, okay? We'll go side by side, but my first one, this is the 2020 roster. But my first question for you is, who's better at running back, Jam Miller, okay, or Najee Harris? Jam Miller or Najee Harris, because those would be the running backs that you could choose from. Pick one at their best. I mean, we haven't seen Jam Miller's best because, I mean, he's probably going to do it this year. But, I mean, Najee Harris was the running back. Let's just look at this 2020 team real quick. All right, so you had Mac Jones, okay? We all know what he did. It's hard to compare because we don't know what this team's going to do yet, right? All right, Ruben, take it easy, dog. Thanks for the super chat earlier. Dude, Najee was crazy, bro. Hey, Guy, we'll let you know the winner on Monday. So join Monday's show at 10 a.m., and that's when we'll spin the pinwheel. All right, Mac Jones at quarterback. Look at these receivers. Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle. Yo, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think we kind of slow down on the, as good as 2020 because this is pretty ferocious. Miller, look at all these upperclassmen too. Miller Forrestall. I mean, is he better than would Miller Forrestall start right now for the tight end room? Maybe. He was serviceable, right? Let's see. Landon Dickerson, monster, like absolute monster. Alex Leatherwood, are you kidding me? Evan Neal, damn, nah. This 2020 offense is unbelievable. I mean, this is crazy. Like we're talking one of the best teams in college football. Yeah, at first I was like, I don't know, slow down. Now I'm like, no, and that's not diminishing, this current team. It's just, look at this, dude. This is crazy. All right, let's look on the defensive side. DJ Dell, LeBron Ray, Christian Harris, Shane Lee, Dylan Moses. I mean, Yeah. Patrick started. Nah, I mean that team was crazy. 2020 was crazy. All right, Rocket Town says this. To fix the name issue, try the select your username icon, top right, then go to Google account, personal info, screenshot that real quick. So if you want like to try to get your name or whatever. Yeah, I agree, man. That 2020 O-line was, yeah, that was it. Ooh, I like this. John Gruden becomes a head coach in the SEC for what team? Ooh, I like that. I don't know. Yeah, I think it sounds like he's coming back to coaching, right? I don't know. You kind of look at the SEC teams, you know, who could have changeovers. I haven't even had time to think about that. Yeah, as soon as I saw that offensive line for 2020, it was easy for me. Auburn. Ooh, can you imagine John Gruden at Auburn? Oh my God. That would be crazy. John Gruden to Auburn. Is that a future headline? Oh my goodness. Ooh, John Gruden to Arkansas. Less appeal. Ooh, John Gruden at LSU. That would be something. That would have fire to it. I just don't think that LSU is going to be. Look, they're going to be good, of course, but I would never pick them to win the title. Not after looking at their schedule. Their schedule is way too tough. I think I have it somewhere within my slides. Let's see. This is all the news from this week. Yeah, look at this. These guys aren't. Look, how many games are these guys losing? Clemson, they could lose that one. They could lose at Florida. They could lose at Ole Miss. South Carolina could beat them. Texas A&M. Bama. Oklahoma. I think this is a hell of a hard schedule. Yeah, there's a huge difference from, you know, playing Florida State on the road to going to play Clemson on the road. I mean, there just is. This is a hard schedule. I don't care, you know, how good you are. That's a hard schedule. So I don't know how many games these guys win or whatever, but I don't even know if they make the playoffs. All right, fam. I appreciate you guys kicking with me. I hope you guys had a good show. I know I did. I had a good time always kicking it with you guys. I appreciate the super chats. There's still time to get into the raffle if you're watching the pre-watch. Bama_YouTube. My last 4 digits is 5953, otherwise known as KYLE. Cash App Bama YouTube. I appreciate you guys for always supporting me, always supporting the product. I know there's a lot of different Alabama football channels and sites and stuff like that. So being able for you guys to kick it with me and talk Alabama football, you know, means so much to me. I hope you guys have a beautiful Friday. Stay where your feet are at. Tomorrow, Alabama has a scrimmage at 1. Expect Kalen DeBoer's press conference, 3 to 4 p.m. window. We'll break it down. We'll talk about news as it happens. Stay blessed. Be grateful for your blessings. And as always, thank you for watching right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Coming to you from Tuscaloosa, Alabama on beautiful Friday, April 15th. Kyle Anderson, Bama Football on YouTube. See you, fam.